Stadium court. And it features Andre Agassi, the number 8 seed in this tournament, leading Carlos Costa of Spain, number 10, 2 sets to love, 3-love in the third, and 30-15 serving. I'm Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo, and we welcome you again to live action. This has occurred 3 other times in the first week of our U.S. Open late night programming, and we are happy to bring you this live action from the stadium court. There is Carlos Costa. He is 24 years of age, an outstanding clay court player. Andre Agassi, 40-15.
Agassi is absolutely having his way with Carlos Costa. Costa kept the ball very deep and solid for the first 2 games of the match, broke Andre Agassi, but it has been Andre ever since. He hasn't been broken, and he's doing whatever he wants against a talented Spaniard who's out of his league on this hard court.
Costa has played only 8 hard court matches and is 4-4, but he played well through his first 3 rounds here, somewhat surprisingly into this round of 16.
.40-30 now, game point. And Agassi has just about wrapped this up. But though this has been a very routine 4th round match for Agassi, it's still the biggest story of the U.S. Open because Barbara Streisand is out there watching her newfound friend again tonight. And she was saying earlier tonight, she explained in an interview how evolved the man Andre Agassi is, how spiritual he is, how zen-like, how older he is than his linear years, of all things. I mean, this is not your garden variety tennis fan. This has been the biggest news for me of the 1992 U.S. Open.
Fair enough, Murray. I won't argue that. I think everybody will agree with you. And Andre Agassi is very much in control out there against Carlos Costa. Now, earlier tonight, another round of 16 match featured yet another outstanding young American, former champion Pete Sampras. And Sampras having an opportunity to avenge a defeat at the hands of Guy Forget them together, and he blistered aces all over the place in the first set tonight.
Sampras had never had good luck against Guy Forget. The loss at the Davis Cup final crippled him for months, he says, and he was 1-3 going against Forget. He's a very difficult player to read, who's got to serve every bit as big as Sampras is, but Pete played a very solid first set. The next 2 sets, though, he really dropped down. I mean, his form was way off. His body language, as he has said, was down. He was starting to get, to me, mentally fatigued, but he came back. He's been battling well all year long.
This is the first game of the 4th set, and of course, Sampras had just come through a 5-set victory over his fellow American Todd Martin, and didn't really want or need another 5-set match, but he got it going here in the 4th, winning that net exchange. Sampras serving now in the next game.
Sampras was the hottest player, remember, coming into the U.S. Open. He hasn't lost in an awful long time, and though he said he didn't feel he played great, he battled very, very well tonight when he had to.
Winning the 4th set 6-4 and showing a little fire there, as he knew now into the 5th he had a chance to not only avenge the defeat but keep himself in contention for the title here, a much more important consideration. Beautiful lob winner from Sampras there, and Forget serving match point against now, 3-5 down. And again, that good volley game from Sampras, 6-3 in the 5th. And afterwards, he spoke with Mary about avenging his Davis Cup loss.
The whole Davis Cup experience was really a bummer for me. My first Davis Cup in a final against 2 guys that were playing good tennis. It was very disappointing. I had 2-3 months where I couldn't get out of my mind. It was a match I definitely wanted to win. A person that's given me a hard time in the past, and it just feels good to to finally beat him. I lost him 3 times last year, and the big one in Lyon, but it was good revenge.
But Pete, you look pooped. Those 2nd and 3rd sets, you've got a lot of tennis in your body, 2 5-setters in a row. Yep. You come off a very busy summer where you play. I mean, are you a little bit worried that maybe you're fatigued?
Well, I had a long summer. Obviously a good summer. Didn't lose a match, and I came in here. I had a week off before the U.S. Open, and my first 2 rounds went pretty smooth. Then I played a tough match against Martin. I knew eventually, I wasn't going to play that well, but it was a match I had to win against Martin. And today I didn't think I played all that great, but that's when you have to come through and win those matches when you're not playing that well, and that's what I did a couple days ago and today.
Well, a lot of us thought you'd be playing Ivan Isavic in the next round, but it's Volkov, against whom you've had a lot of success. Yeah,
I beat him last year at the Paris tournament in Bercy. I don't mind playing him. Obviously, he's playing very good. He beat Gilbert today and Isavic very easily, so he's a person that's going to be very tough to beat.
Okay. Well, good luck. That was well done today.
Thanks, Mary.
Pete Sampras in good form, although you pointed out maybe a little fatigue setting in. Still your pick to win this?
Well, I picked him, so I'm not gonna be a weenie and change my mind. But I think both Andre Agassi and Jim Courier are looking even stronger.
Okay, well, we'll be back to bring you the conclusion of the match outside on the stadium court. Right now, it's Andre Agassi, 4-1 in the third set, up 2 sets over Carlos Costa. We'll go back out there when we return. Carrillo back live at the National Tennis Center stadium court. It is 1-5, Costa serving to Andre Agassi, 15 love, and down 2 sets is the Spaniard. So Andre Agassi headed for a quarterfinal date with Jim Courier. Easy win over John McEnroe today, 30 love, Costa. Somewhat disheartened swing at the ball there.
Yeah, he knows this is over. Costa's got a pretty good first serve, a very good first serve, I should say, but a very attackable second serve, and Agassi has not missed one opportunity, it seems, all night long to attack it. Missed that one. And I think both these players know that this 4th round is over. And for the most part, Andre Agassi is playing an awful lot like Ivan Lendl. Really, I mean, just playing very sensible matches. Lendl has been criticized by two players he's defeated so far in this event. I think he's playing smart tennis. He's not, you know, I think he's playing well. But again, I think Andre and Jim Courier have been the class of the field so far. 40-30.
Agassi sneaking in but knocking it long, so Costa stays alive for perhaps just one more game. Love 15 against Carlos Costa of Spain. All. Agassi forcing the issue on that point. Whoop, Costa fell down, trying to make the move over as he was wrong-footed.
He's okay.
Says he's all right. 30-15, Agassi. Well, they didn't even bother going for that one. It is match point now for Andre Agassi. And Barbara Streisand perhaps sensing the end is near here. And Andre Agassi headed towards Jim Courier. Wonder if she'll be here for that one. Every tabloid and movie magazine will be making the same speculation, we're sure, along with some others. There it is, an ace for match point, Andre Agassi. And again, as you pointed out, Mary, kind of a well-paced performance by Agassi, not doing any more than he had to. He's been wanting to kind of build his game to a peak for the big matches that lie ahead. And the biggest is there right in front of him. Top seed Jim Courier in the quarterfinal round. I wonder who that was for. Clean-shaven Andre Agassi, we note, for this match. Kind of a new look. Came out without a hat on, but did go to the hat once the match began. And here's match point, a service ace for Agassi. Nice way to finish the match in easy straight sets over Carlos Costa of Spain.
Andre Agassi has now won 4 straight matches in straight sets, Tim. He's looking very, very good.
Well, we'll be back with a chat with Andre Agassi and other news and highlights from the U.S. Open in just a moment. Victory over Carlos Costa. Thanks for coming in, Andre. And you've been talking during this tournament about the fact you've been winning matches without having to totally extend yourself. Same kind of a thing tonight. Are you on course the way you want to be?
Yes, you know, I mean, you try to survive the first week of a Grand Slam, and then the second week you try to hit that next gear that can take you hopefully through the tournament. And today I was coming out here, you know, and I was ready for a tough match. I was ready for 4 or 5 sets, but it was tougher than it looked out there, believe it or not. But to win that easily now, I just feel momentum, so much momentum building in the rest of the week.
It's amazing that you've played a couple of good guys and you haven't dropped a set yet. Boris Becker always speaks about that, the second week tennis, how different it is from the first. Do you think, I mean, you've got Jim Courier coming up next. Obviously, you're going to have to kick it into a different gear, as he did today against McEnroe.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, you know, Mary. I mean, every time you come out in the court, you know, in the Grand Slam tournament, you're finding somebody who's a little tougher, And to win a Grand Slam, you gotta beat the best of them, and it's time to start playing the best of them, and I'm ready for it.
I think we have to ask you something you may not know about here. Earlier this evening, that famous lady was watching you courtside, said that you had called her after you saw the Prince of Tides, and that's how you met, on the telephone.
That's right.
Give us your version of these events.
Well, I'm not usually one who views people through their work, but there's a lot of respect I have for Barbara and what she's done. I mean, to be an actress in it, but not only that, to direct it and produce it, that's something remarkable. I have a lot of respect for people like that, and I just like to meet them and see if some of that can rub off on me.
She's a big fan. Do you expect her to be here for the Courier match now?
I'm sure she's going to want to be. I don't know what her schedule has in store for her, but you know, like anybody, I like as many people to come watch as possible.
All right, well, let's take a look at what else happened here in the men's action today, and then we can talk a little bit about the draws at matches up now and the various remaining matches. Andre Agassi over Carlos Costa tonight, as Andre's just come in 6-2 in the third, an easy move for him this evening. Courier this afternoon against John McEnroe, likewise in straight sets, 7-6 in the last one, a tiebreak as McEnroe battled back a little bit, and those two will now meet each other. Pete Sampras over Guy Forget, avenging his Davis Cup defeat, had to go 5 sets to do it, and he did a good job indeed. And then Pete will face Alexander Volkov, who defeated Brad Gilbert, and that was a 4-set match tonight, going to the Russian over the American Brad Gilbert. Let's take a look at the draw now. You see Courier against Agassi in one quarterfinal, Sampras and Volkov in the other, in that top half of the men's singles competition. So, what do you think, the way it's shaping up here? How do we look ahead here? Let's say you beat Courier. Who else are you going to be looking at?
Well, this is interesting, you know, it really is. It's come down to the end here, and everybody that's here deserves to be here, so it's going to be tough. You know, I played Jim, and then maybe I can get a shot at Pete and avenge a little bit of what, you know, the embarrassment he put me through a few years ago. That would certainly be nice.
Andre, you've played Jim many times. You know his game. The last time you played at the French, I mean, it was not the kind of match you wanted. What decides matches between you two? What will make the difference in the quarterfinals on a hard court at the U.S. Open?
Well, I think the French Open was a turning point for me. It was a time that I was struggling a lot with confidence and doubting myself a lot, and I think I got through a lot of that during the French Open. Mentally, I wasn't quite there. You know, Jim is very strong mentally, and you know you're going to have to beat him, and I wasn't there mentally to be able to dig it out, and the score reflected that. When you get to this level, there's so little that separates you, that if I'm not playing 100% and he's playing 100%, the score could very easily be one-sided. If he's not playing 100% and I am, it could be vice versa. It's just so marginal. You got to go out there and just be ready and hope that when you do kick it in that extra gear, everything's there for you.
Should be a great match.
It should be just a terrific match. We look forward to it, and we wish you the very best of luck, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Andre Agassi and Jim Courier next in the quarterfinal. We'll be back with more from our U.S. Open late night show in just a moment.